What if you could buy a scan tool that had all of the features and power and functions, but in a compact, easy to use, and very fast portable unit? That's what we're checking out with the AutoFix D1 Lite. Let's check it out together right now. Hey everyone, this is Tom with Fresh Finish Garage. Today we're checking out the AutoFix D1 Lite Scan Tool. Big shout out to AutoFix for sending this over and sponsoring this video. Taking a look at this guy, you'll see the other two we have the other two things we have on the screen here. We have a next generation service tool, the TireGo 808. If you haven't seen our video on this, definitely check it out. Really nice unit from a brand you already know and trust. And also we have the AutoFix BT1 Lite. This is an accessory and a standalone. It will function with the D1 here, and we're going to show that in a video, but we also have a separate video on this, so definitely check both those videos out. We'll leave the links for those in the description of the video you're watching now. All that to say, let me grab those off of here and we'll focus in on the D1 Lite because this thing has a ton of cool features. Definitely a DIYer's dream come true, so to speak. And if you're a shop owner, you're probably considering this because it definitely packs a lot of features. Everything from bi-directional control to CAN, FD, and DOIP. All the usual suspects. I'll just leave that open for the time being. Let me get it turned on while I kind of stall for time. This is the scan tool itself. It has, I believe, 38 hot functions, 38 maintenance functions. And I can't list them all off, but we were reading on their website. They have even things like clutch learning. Aside from the usual oil light reset, SRS, ABS, like parking brake, all the usual stuff. They had clutch learning. They had like lane change assist or something like that. There's even just an odometer one. So there's a bunch of stuff in there that we've never actually seen before on a scan tool. And looking at this thing, it's small, it's light, it's very like when we pulled this thing out of the box, I was really like, wow. This does support AutoAuth, so 2017 newer Chrysler vehicles. We do not have a Chrysler, we have a Honda CR-V we're going to jump into and actually plug into and scan. But let's go outside. We want to see how deep we can get into the diagnostics on the actual CR-V. We want to see the actual live data graphing, obviously code reading. My check engine light is on, but we just want to see what we can do, dig around in the systems and see what we can find in the software. Let's jump outside and go do that right now. So we are here in my 2005 Honda CR-V, and before I plug this in, I just wanted to shout it out. This has a flashlight built in. It's such a commonsensical thing. I don't know why more OEMs don't do this when they're making scan tools, but let me plug this in. Just quick shout out. You can see this is basically a tablet. There's Google Chrome and a bunch of different stuff in here. So we're going to go back into the software, and it is auto vinning. So that's awesome to see. This thing, just wanted to mention, this does bi-directional control. Sorry. Let's see here. Accept. And here is our software. Let's see if we can find, oops, I'm assuming we would swipe down, but let's swipe right here. You can see there's quite a bit of stuff in here. I'm just going to go to Honda here. Honda, there we go. That was fast. Accept. And let's do automatic selection. All right, there's our VIN. Going to choose US. Obviously this is a global tool, but for the purposes here we're in the United States. Alright, let's look at, I want to get a diagnosis in just a moment, but I want to show you some of the hot functions here. These are the ones that we were mentioning earlier, and these come standard with this. This unit does have a 2-year software update included out of the box, so that's a nice feature, so you don't have to pay for that right out of the right out of the gate. And let's go into diagnosis. We'll look at those other sections in a minute there. Let's do auto scan and let's hit all systems, and we'll speed this part up because this is going to touch every single computer in the car, and sometimes it's a 2-minute process, sometimes it's like a 5-minute process. So. And you can see we have our top to bottom list done, and like I mentioned before, this basically touches every single computer in the car. Being an 05 here, 2 points to make. One, there's just not that much. You see some of the stuff says no response, and two, the computers in this thing are definitely slower than, say, if we use like a 2020 or 2022 car. We've done this on newer cars, and it's much, much faster, and just zoop right through the list. But let's take a look at the engine PCM. I know my check engine light's on. Let's just see if this can help us understand why it's on. Let's read some codes. There we go. Okay, so catalyst P0, that's a super common code. I'm pretty sure the catalytic converter in this thing is going bad, but good to see that that's kind of confirmation of it. So if I wanted to clear my codes, I could do that right there. And let's see what kind of information's in my ECU. So there's my ECU information. And let's look at some live data graphing. And stick around. I think I saw the bidirectional controls there. We want to double check the actual data here and see what comes out of the car when I start the engine. I'm just clicking things at random. I believe we can graph in here. Yeah, there's our graphing. So let me start the car here. There we go. And you can immediately see all the numbers here. Now let me do a show selected. Okay, so it just filters down, and then I don't actually see a graph. Is this my graph here? Okay, so it does show like an individual graph on that individual one. Okay, so it'll only do one at a time. Oh no, it'll do multiple. You just have to scroll. But let me merge. Now that's impressive, knowing that this thing, the price point it's at, it's a really nice feature to have if you're chasing like that random thing, like the sensor that's starting to go bad but still giving readings right some of the time. And you can see settings here. Let's take a look at, so we can actually change our recording settings there. If we wanted to freeze the data, there's our freeze frame, so we can kind of see it and then maybe send that to a customer or like another technician or something so they can review it. But really nice feature to have there. Let's click on active test. I want to see, I'm assuming, okay, so these are not the bidirectional controls that I thought they were. Now this says radiator fan and activates the radiator fan relay. So let's do this. Do you wish to continue? Yes. Okay, so on. You can hear it on and off. So this is kind of like bidirectional controls. So just jumping into the middle of the video here, we weren't quite happy with the bidirectional control or lack thereof in the CRV we had. So we have a 2020 Subaru Outback here, and we've already done the auto scan. We've already plugged in the year, make, and model and stuff. So we're back at that main scanned page here, so to speak, and I want to find the, whoops, there we go, find the driver's side window, because earlier off camera we were putting the window up and down. So we're going to find that here, and let's go to our active tests, power window operation. We're going to hit OK. Okay, so let's put up. There we go. And then let's go back down. Let's go down. There we go. So really cool to see the power of this. We have one more trick to show you here, so to speak, but let us jump out of the car and we'll go to the back of the vehicle here. So for our final magic trick, I mean bidirectional control, we're gonna do this here, custom list, and let's find it in here. Manual unlock, I think that's it. Let's find it here. Hit OK. We hit start. And you can see there's no one in the car. You know, we're not we're not screwing around or making a fake or anything. But so let me hit stop and then start again. And it should close. Yeah, there we go. So pretty cool to see the power of this and the form factor, you know, nice Nice unit, but just wanted to shout out some of the bi-directional controls, and we're going to jump right back into the rest of the video right now. So let's go into service. I'm guessing service is where we were just at. Okay, so these are more of the service functions. And if I wanted to do an ECU reset, there's a ton of stuff in here. It's impressive to see the amount of various things. We've not actually seen this much in here. Settings, battery test. Let's do this. Let's hook up the B1 and we'll get that all set up so that we can actually do an in-vehicle test. So just real quick, wanted to show you the D1 Lite is hooked up to my battery here, and we're going to jump inside and do the test right now. So we do have the D1 hooked up to the battery like I just showed you, and it is also hooked up here. We're going to do in-vehicle test. And I will make note, you see VCI and BAS. It's kind of hard to see there, but you can see they're both green. They both need to be actually connected via Bluetooth to the D1. And one is to actually auto-VIN. And so it says battery information. Mine's actually 500 CCAs, so I'm going to adjust that into 500 CCAs. And then let's go ahead and hit next. Turn off everything, ignition off. Okay. And I guess I have to hit the check boxes here, start testing. All right, and it says good and recharge because we've had the ignition on the CRV for probably the last 10 minutes or so, but let's do continue. Ensure the ignition is off. And let's hit start testing. Waiting for the vehicle to start. Cranking normal. That's great to see. And then let's check the alternator here. Turn everything off. Everything is off. So we'll hit continue. Keep the engine at 2,000 to 3,000 RPM. Turn everything on. Okay. And there we go. Good to see the alternator is doing well, and we got a clean bill of health for the overall electrical and charging system here. If we wanted to report that, we could just go ahead and put out a report. We could print it, email it to the customer if we wanted to, and we're not going to do any of that, so we'll just hit done. And it's basically telling us don't leave the VCI in the OBD2 port, so the customer has a new flashlight basically. And looking at this, we want to, do an out-of-vehicle test. We're not going to, but also if you're changing the battery and a battery reset, those are also options that are in the software here. Looking at the rest of the software here, it is definitely an Android tablet, and you do have Google Chrome here. You could go on to Fresh Vintage Garage and watch our videos. You can go on Fresh Vintage, check out our Classic Cars, Muscle Cars, our other channel, where we focus on more horsepower and car-related content. It is a scan tool, like we said. It does have a camera. Let me just do a quick photo here. And it's not going to be the world's greatest photo per se, but it's decent for what it is. I mean, that's a lot of detail there, and very, very nice. It will shoot video as well if you want to do video, if you want to send the customer an actual video of the engine running or something like that. And swiping over to, this is a search bar here, but swiping over to the right, you get a little bit more. This is just general support if they want to remote into the actual tool itself. And then some user feedback and stuff. Quick links, I'm guessing this is where you literally can save your quick links kind of thing. But you know, overall, let me turn the car off and unplug the VCI here. Wrapping up the video, nice unit. Really impressed with it. We're very impressed with how, you know, the size of it. It's very light. I mean, there's not much to it, and that's a good thing. That's not a bad thing. It definitely feels durable. Like you could drop it. You know, obviously, if you drop it face down, that might be bad, but it's going to survive a hit with, you know, with the actual bumpers on it. But really nice unit. We'll leave the link for this in the description of the video you're watching now, so you can check it out if you want to, you know, buy one and maybe compare, like do some cross shopping. We've done other things similar to this, other scan tools in the similar price point and capability. So we'll leave a link to the video, and if you're interested in buying, we'll leave the link to those in the description of the same video you're watching right now. But with that, if you like scan tools, if you like shop equipment, if you like keeping your cars certified fresh and fixed up on the road, Fresh Vintage Garage is your channel. Please like and subscribe, and thanks for watching.
Woo, it's Ricky Bobby. Hey, subscribe to Fresh Vintage. Woo, because if you ain't first, you're last.